City?
Carlos City is present with 3 officers, 8 members, and no advisor.
Punahou?
43.
Carlos present with 2 members and 1 or 2 members.
Roosevelt?
Roseville is present with 2 officers and 2 members.
Sacred Hearts? St. Louis?
St. Louis is present with 4 officers.
Waipahu?
Waipahu is present with 7 officers and 4 members.
Okay. And then club report. So
66.
this time I'm going to need each club to have 1 representative say a couple of their past events and a couple of their upcoming events. These are really good if key clubs are looking for upcoming events and maybe you want to do an inter-club project, just throwing that out there. So we'll go down the line again, starting with Iea.
Past events that we were involved in is always the Kiwani's Car Wash, which was on the 7th of August. Then we went to Waikiki Elementary to fix up their garden, and our monthly cold bar cleaning. Our upcoming services are on the 21st, Working School fundraiser, and the 27th is TikTok.
Castle?
Castles, for the past month, we've had the graffiti paint out on the 27th and 2 newsletter foldings on the 29th and 30th of August. And upcoming projects, we have the family activity night on Friday the 16th of September, USS Missouri on the 24th, and we're planning to have, to volunteer the Children's and Youth Day on October 2nd.
Iolani?
For past month, we did dance recital, showcase ushering, and then we also held out the Overall Festival, and we had our open house last Thursday, where we held to guide the parents. Upcoming events are St. Timothy Church fundraiser. Also, we have another open house and cross country meet, along with chocolate extravaganza and seafood festival.
Isaac?
Okay. Past events were last month we had paper recycling on. Okay, so we had paper recycling. We do it twice a month. We also had our Hugs event on August 20th. We had a beach cleanup on the 28th. We had our welcome social on the 3rd of September. We had our also banquet yesterday at the 10th at Hollywood. And our Kiwanis upcoming events are our Kiwanis meetings are on the 2nd, 4th Wednesdays of the month, and we have our Century Bike Ride on the 24th, and then Hawaii Kai-Hui on the 25th.
Okay, so for our past events, this past Friday night, we had our first orientation for our community club members. And then in 2 weeks, we're gonna have our second orientation for the other half of our Key Club members. And then on September 17th, for our upcoming events, we have Cow Wagon, which is making sandwiches and stuff for the homeless. And then on October 2nd, we're gonna do Children and Youth Day, the event. And then on October 9th, we're gonna do the Hawaii Seafood and Fishing Festival volunteer.
Thank you. Paranal?
Paranal is present with 2 officers. We don't have any past events with them here, and we have our club together. And some upcoming events we have USF, UK March, Children's Day, and Pumpkin Party.
Mililani?
For past events, we had our club fair and we did business with
past event was helping at the Okinawan Festival, and our upcoming events include helping at the Highlands Intermediate fundraiser and doing a beach cleanup.
Our past events, we had the Kibane Family Dinner, we had the Hugs event, and we had feeding the homeless. And our future events will do a seafood festival and the film festival.
Roosevelt?
Our past events was the installation banquet today, and our upcoming events is a garage sale at the Lower School and KFC at Kanaki Rec Center, also children and youth.
St. Louis?
Past events were Couple Way, the Okinawan Festival, and the Golden Beach. For upcoming events are the KFD, also the Couple Way, the Boy Fishing Festival, and the United
Why coffee?
Some of our past projects have been classroom cleanups for some of the teachers in our school, campus beautification, YMC booth at Florida Uptown, where we colored with children of conflict. Some of our upcoming projects is our Hawaii Elementary hopscotch painting, children in youth meeting, one topic can all learn, and we're also going to be marching in our homecoming parade, and we're going to our Kiwanis installation.
Okay. So I hope you guys got some ideas because there are some events that people said that they did within their school, even if it's just like cleaning teachers' classrooms, doing paper recycling. So those are some things that you might want to keep in mind if you're ever low on events. So did anyone get a count of how many people are here?
66.
Thank you. Okay. So
You miscounted.
we'll start with old business. So last month we had our regional training conference, the RTC at Iolani from August 13th to 14th, and we learned about fish. If you didn't go to RTC, we didn't learn about like different types of fish like ahi and salmon. Fish was more of a concept where it's like things that you should keep in mind when you work. You should be playful, you should always be present, as in you should always give your 100%, things like that. So we also interacted with our club buddies. We actually all got to get together for the first time, and we went to different workshops. Every person that went got to go to 3 workshops where they learned stuff, and we also raised money for PTP. So for those of you who attended RTC, what did you learn specifically? We'll just start with that question then. Like, was there anything really specific that you learned about? There should be a lot because you guys did learn a lot. No one learned anything from RTC? Okay, Caitlin.
Okay, so what I learned from RTC was the MEP and a major service project are different. A major service project is not with conjunction with any organizations, and the MEP is mainly with is doing service mainly with children.
Okay, so MEP, if you don't know what that is, that's a major emphasis project. So if you want to look up what major emphasis and a major service project is, you can go onto the CNH cyber key. They have all the information there. Anybody else learned anything? I know some of you guys went to my workshop, so I know that you learned at least something. And I know all of the DIV team members worked really hard, so yes.
I learned how to make a resolution. And I'm actually gonna, our school is actually gonna use that to make some resolutions for ourselves. And also gonna participate in SSC. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll go into the more fun things since nobody else wants to speak up. What was your favorite memory from RTC? You were there for 2 full days. Yes.
My favorite memory was sleeping on the cold floor of the Central Hall.
I told you at the DCM before that it would be cold.
It wasn't that cold.
Anything else, Shayna?
I remember doing our skits because from one of my workshops we had to do a skit, so we raised like artificial money for PTP.
Anybody else? No? Okay. Well, one of my favorite memories from RTC was Zumba, just because it was really fun to see everybody doing everything together. It was actually like really fun because even those people that were kind of timid about it, they really got into it. So that was one of my favorite memories. It kind of showed unity with all of us. That was mine. Okay, what types of things do you think can be improved? That way they can use it for next year when they're planning RTC. You guys speak up. We know it wasn't perfect, and that's why we're trying to search for answers to make it better. You guys, okay.
More information about the PCP so if you guys are gonna do it next year. Cause then I know some people didn't bring a lot of money, so we were like kind of surprised about that.
Okay, anything else? The rest of you all thought that RTC was perfect?
There was Zumba. I'd like to know about the events.
Okay, Tiffany.
I think for the service fair, you could like space it out more so that there were crowds that was forming on tables blocking the information.
Okay, for those of you that went to RTC, how many of you would like to attend again? Even if you're a senior, I'll let you guys.
Go for it.
Okay. That's a good majority of you guys. Why would you want to go back? Or why would you want to attend RTC again?
Because I got sick.
All of your guys' hands went up, so you must have a reason. We'll go.
It was a good chance to make friends with members from other clubs.
Okay.
Yeah, mine was the same one. Like I liked getting to like know people from other schools.
For like me personally, it kind of reminded me why I joined Key Club in the first place.
Got to know my key buddies.
Anything else anyone has to share about RTC in general? Any last remarks or anything? No? Okay. Key Club buddies. At RTC, each of you guys have got to meet your Key Club buddies if you went to RTC. So, do you guys know who your Key Club buddies are?
Yes.
Yes?
I do.
Okay. Let's try and see. I will pick on someone from Marino. Tell me who your Key Club buddies are. For those people that are in Rose or in Marino's Key Club buddies, are they missing anyone? In Farrington? Okay. So, Pearl City. Okay, then you got all of them. Okay. Roosevelt. Oh,
Farrington.
BK, Cal BK, Hilo, I'm missing a key club buddy. This club wasn't mentioned yet. Kunaho? Okay.
Sacred Hearts, Kapaa, and Kauai.
Okay. Is that everyone? Was everybody's club involved? Good job. Okay, so have you guys been communicating with your Key Club buddies now that you got to meet them? Okay. Okay, who has communicated?
Did we share? Did we?
Okay.
Oh.
So, Prosser, you want to say what or how you've been communicating? Because I know the way you're communicating.
Me personally, Facebook.
Well, for most of these Key Club buddies, Iolani St. Louis involvement, we've been talking through a Google group. I know that you've been keeping in contact with St. Louis, like Dong and yeah, that's pretty much it.
And then Tiff, you had your.
Yeah, we for us, we just have a Facebook group and then people talk.
That's a good idea.
Okay, just know with Facebook group, it's fine, but the Kiwanis doesn't encourage information being passed, like to take over from having meetings with people and planning it through meeting each other. You can't be like, everyone let's meet here and do a service project. You're not allowed to do that. And I think Mom explained this to you, that there are people on Facebook that kind of watch it from the Kiwanis' point, so just be careful. And then next on the agenda is club and island visitations. Keegan will be conducting more club and island visitations during fall break. I believe Keegan will be here the first weekend of fall break for you kids that go to public school, because it starts on the 2nd and 3rd, I believe. So I believe that's when he's coming. I will double check on that. But if you guys have any projects during that time that you want him to come out to, please let him know. He'd love to come and meet your club. So just email him soon so that he can start planning out where he has to go. Did anyone have anything right now that they want Keegan to know about? Or you guys can just email him on your own. You guys can discuss it in your clubs too, that's why. None? Okay, so the next thing is our division project. Last year our division project was raising money for ODFL, $1 for Life, where we built a school in Indonesia. So this year we are focusing on pediatric trauma program. Does anyone, who knows what that is? PTP. Okay, Shayna, can you explain to everyone what PTP is?
PTP is pediatric trauma program. What they do is they raise money for hospitals and different types of emergencies so that they can take care of kids when they have a traumatic event happen to them, to save them from having more damage than possible.
Okay, so if you noticed at RTC, we are really trying to raise money for them because this is our project. We raised $350 with our bake sale and our fishing game and our other game, or our beanbag toss. So thank you for all of you guys that donated. That money will be put to good use. So we're hoping that within your clubs you guys can raise money for PTP and then send it in to the region like we did last year with ODFL. So just remember that this is not fundraising, it's philanthropy. If you came to my workshop at RTC, I explained what philanthropy is. Philanthropy is raising funds for an organization. It's not a fundraiser where you benefit from it. So philanthropy is one of those 5 types of service. It goes along with direct service, indirect service, and stuff like that. So just keep in mind what philanthropy is. And you can be really creative with the ways that you raise money. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to go all out or anything. The goal is just to keep in mind what you're raising money for. And that will probably get people to donate to you because PTP is a really great program. And if you want more information about it, I have information about it, or you can also find it online at the Cyber Key. have any of your clubs started fundraising for PTP yet? Castle? What have you been doing to?
We use our happy sad dollars to for this, and I think we'll continue until if we find another organization.
So is the Happy Sad Dollars within your club or your Kiwani?
Club.
Okay. So if you guys don't know what Happy Sad Dollars is, it's basically a jar that kind of rotates around, and you put in $1, you can say something happy, you can say something sad. Wow. So it's a sharing experience, and you get to generate funds to donate. So that's really good. Anybody else?
One of the things we're doing for our homecoming to raise for spirit is that the members can donate like 25 cents to have as much face paint as they want. And since we have like a lot of members and a lot of them want paint, we'll be donating all of that to PTP.
Does anyone else have anything to add? Does anyone have any questions about PTP? Okay, so next, division shirt. We do have a lot of extra division shirts for sale. So if you went to RTC, you already got one, but if any of your other club members would like to purchase one, they can. It's $10. Just email Keegan and let them know the sizes. If you didn't realize it, there's a lot of yellow people in here. We're wearing the shirt. This is the front and the back. Because if so, the other way to get it is at convention. But by then it's already February and towards the end of the year. So if you get your club members to wear it now, they can wear it throughout the whole year. So just keep that in mind. Key Club service. Remember that Key Club is a service organization, and our goal this year is to create 50,000 service hours. So that was because last year we won the award for having the most service hours out of all of the divisions in California, Nevada, Hawaii. So we want to ensure that we can try get that again. So that's our goal. Remember, as Key Clubbers, we're expected to have at least 50 hours of service. And if you need funds to carry out service projects, there is a Youth Opportunities Fund grant. It's called a YOF. And you can apply to get this grant. So they'll give you money so that you can do your project at keyclub.org. But the deadline is October 15th, 2011. So if you really want to, like for example, if you wanted to do a major emphasis project and you know it's going to cost money and your club can't really give up that money at this point, you can apply for this grant. You let them know what your project is, what the money is going to be used for, and then that way they can help you out in carrying out your project. So keep that in mind. The date is coming up October 15th. That's in about a month. Any questions about that one? This is a lot. Okay, Hawaii Convention 2012. As you can see, it is no longer called a divisional convention, DivCon. It is now Hawaii Convention. And I think it's partially so that we don't get DivCon and DCon and all of these acronyms mixed up, so we will call it the Hawaii Convention now. So the Key Club 2012 one will be held February 10th to the 12th at Sheraton Keauhou Bay and Resort on the island of Hawaii. You guys realize that is different from Maui. So just make sure that you keep that in mind. Is that the change date or so? Okay, so this is not on President's Day weekend like you had all thought. So if you wrote like Key Club Convention really big and like that block on President's Day weekend because you wanted to make sure you can go to that, you might need to move it up a week now. So So keep that in mind. I know that might generate some conflict with things that you might have planned before, but we're sorry. So start fundraising for Hawaii Convention 2012. It is going to cost more for us to go to convention this year because it isn't on our island. So try to start fundraisers now so that by the time it gets to February, you can be close to be paying off all of it. Keegan is also suggesting that you might want to talk to your Kiwanis clubs to see what they think about the Hawaii Convention and if they might want to sponsor some of it. And then one thing at the convention that's really big that we do on the second night is our award ceremony. We would really like to get more applicants this year. So throughout the year, please keep the distinguished president, VP, secretary, treasurer, member of the year, major emphasis project, year in review, which is like your scrapbook, in mind. So when February comes around, or when December comes around actually, when you have to apply for these, you can be ready to apply for them. You'll have all your information ready. So my suggestion, start a folder on your computer and start dragging things in that you might want to use in your folders now, so it's not so much of a rush when you actually have to submit them. It'll make life a whole lot easier. And if you went to RTC, there was a contest and awards workshop that went over all of these and how to apply. If you want to apply, you can go to the CyberKey. That's really your place for everything. I'll keep saying CyberKey. Did any clubs know which ones they're going to apply for already? Or which ones they'd like to try for? Oh, and if you didn't know, this is Kelly Kurosaki. She was actually secretary, VP for Kauai High School last year, and she's going to UH now, and she kind of dropped by. So,
Okay, if you've never done an e-portfolio before, I suggest you start playing around with the program they use, because sometimes you might have it as a Word document with pictures and stuff. Sometimes that might not transfer to the e-portfolio. So if you want it to look pretty with images and stuff, make sure you play around with that, get to know it, so you're not staying at school until 11 o'clock at night right before the deadline.
So our e-portfolio is different. In the past, they've done it with a binder where you print out all your pages and stuff, but now we do it electronically, so it's all PDF file. So that's what it basically is. So what would you guys like to see at Hawaii Convention? Because the div team is getting together in 2 months to start planning this, and we'd like to get your input of what you'd like to see.
A hands-on service project, like something that we can do either in the resort or outside, not just workshop. I mean, it was fun, but I'd rather do something where it's more involved.
Anybody else? These are the workshops that you will be going to. No one? So I'm not allowed to hear you complaining about, oh, they didn't have this workshop that I really wanted to go to. Nothing? At all? How to be more social? So like a social workshop? So like going over like icebreakers and things like that to get people to know each other?
Etiquette workshop, like, things like you're supposed to stand when you turn it over your presentation, or like how to say the pledge properly, like little stuff like that. Because I think we were supposed to have that at RTC, someone mentioned, but we couldn't. What do I call that? Is that?
Key club etiquette.
That's better.
I'll go back to it later. Anything else? Wendy?
A stress reliever workshop. No, we don't have Monday off.
Anything else? Wendy, did you say that you're worried that Monday there's school?
Yeah, kind of more important for stress reliever workshop.
Anything else? Thank you, Waipahu. Okay. So Keegan's whole thing is a key for every month. So this September key is bond. So that's recruiting and inducting new members, hoping for your club to bond, get to know each other. And make sure you include some Key Club education, like teaching them the pledge maybe, or basic facts about the Key Club. Has anyone been following Keegan's keys? Honestly?
Nope.
Is it because you don't know what the keys are?
Can we get that worksheet passed out at DivCon? I don't know.
Yeah, so for the other clubs, is it because you don't know what Keegan's keys are? You want us to email it to you?
Yes.
But, okay, have any of the clubs here done any socials? Because technically that goes under bond. Okay, so we do have clubs. If you just think about it and tweak your way of thinking, you did do bond. So it may be things that you're already doing. And then October, it's fundraise because it's time for trick or treat for UNICEF. That's another Kiwani sponsored one that we'd like to fundraise for. The money goes to like the small third world countries, helping them with necessities. So just keep that one in mind. And then club dues. This is an important one. Club dues, you have to pay these dues to ensure that your club is still active. So the early bird deadline is November 1st, 2011. You do it by this time, your club will get a patch that says early bird. And then you can glue it onto your banner or stitch it on, and then so it looks pretty cool. And then the regular deadline is December 1st. Make sure that your dues are either early or on time, because if not, the div team will have to come after your club and keep bothering you about these dues. It's really not that hard. You input names, you send in money. Shouldn't take more than 30 minutes, depending how big your club is. So make sure you do that. And if, yes?
Where do we send the money to? The div team or?
You send it to Key Club International. So you have to pay these dues to make you an official member of Key Club International. And if your club does not pay these dues, you are not allowed to go to division convention, district convention, or international convention. Paying these dues helps your club to carry out various service projects and socials, too. So, are there any other questions about this, about paying dues on time? Everyone's gonna do it by early bird, right? Let's all shoot for early bird. You have, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's try and get it so all of Oahu has early bird, okay?
Yeah.
So, every club, get it in by November 1st. Okay, and then, did you have a question? to do the club dues?
Oh no, our president isn't here. She doesn't know how to get here. She's not.
Oh. Okay, next one is another convention. This is the CNH District Convention. Myself, Caitlin from Paso, and Kelly from Kauai. We actually went last year. It was a really great experience. So this year it's going to be held April 13th to the 15th at Santa Clara, California. And the theme is Believe, because our mascot is a bee, so it's Believe, the magic of service. So Decon does cost a lot of money, and that's why we're bringing it up now, because if you want to go, you should start fundraising now. So regular registration is $160. Hotel is about $200, and airfare costs about $800 to $1,000. But if you start fundraising now and you really want to go, I would suggest you try your best, because trying never hurts. So if you want to go, it's a great experience. Start thinking about it now. More information will come out as we get closer towards the end of the year. Was anyone here interested in going to Decon? Yay, hands. It's really cool. There's 3,000 other key clubbers up there. Spirit is like off the charts. It's something that you won't get anywhere else. So keep that in mind. Keep Decon in mind. You guys still have a lot of time to think about it. Are there any club questions or concerns? No questions or concerns that we might want to bring up now and give each other suggestions? Is there any division concerns? Division concerns can be about PTP, Hawaii Convention, any of those types of things. Taylor.
Why was it not on President's Day weekend?
Because facility was already booked for that weekend. We would only have half a ballroom, which meant that we would have to limit attendance to less than 200. So it was decided to move the weekend so that anyone who wanted to go to Hawaii Convention could go to Hawaii Convention without us having to say, no, you cannot, you're full.
Any other questions or concerns with the division? Anything, any questions about when your MRFs are due, when your club reports are due? Yes.
Now would be a really good time for you to connect with your faculty advisor, because the information for dues is going to him or her. So if you are out of touch with this person, or if you change, you want to get really close to the school secretary and say, there's this paper that's going to be coming from Key Club International, and it's going to just be this one sheet, and can you really make sure it goes through Mrs. Yada Yada's box so we can get it? That's the one that's going to have your Key Club passcode and your special Key Club code. That's what's going to give you specific instructions on how to do dues. Okay? And that's the one that keeps getting lost in school mail. So get to know your school secretary if you change, or hang out with your faculty advisor and make sure it doesn't get lost in her homework. Okay? It's really, really important. So don't say later that, well, we didn't know, because you know now. Okay? It's very easy to get lost. It's one 8.5 by 11 envelope in white. But it's going to go to that person, not to you. That's the humbug part. You gotta go find it, okay?
And your early bird, just to let you, the presidents and secretaries, your early bird registration, if you just register your officers, turn in dues for your officers, you'll get the early bird registration. So.
But it's gotta be 15. And don't do that, bro.
It does, but just because I know some clubs had a really hard time getting dues in even by the December 1st deadline, if you can at least turn in for your officers, that way at least you can at least make sure that your officers are covered when they come to DCMs, when you guys run events, because that registration is more than just a patch on your banner. It's actually your insurance, it's making sure that you're an official club. So if you can at least get onto that site, make sure your officers are registered, and then making sure that the dues for your officers, at least that check gets sent in, you at least be an official club, because if you don't make that December 1st registration deadline, you actually fall into a lot of other things other than the fact that Shay and Keegan are going to start getting on you guys about not turning in your dues. So make sure you at least do that. I mean, you should be able to get, once you do that, it's really easy to get everybody else on there, that's why. So try to at least get that done by the early bird. If you can get that done by November, then between November and December you can register your members and whatnot. I know there's, speaking from my experiences, Kaiser actually has a hard time sometimes figuring out who actually is a member, because we get their forms and then they don't show up to anything, and I'm sure a lot of us have that problem. So if you can at least get your officers, you know your officers are going to be members, get that in, and then between November and December get your members in. You'll be in a lot better shape, and you won't have to worry about everybody chasing you down for making sure that registration gets in. The other thing though, on that, if you go that route, make sure that the people who are going to convention, you do pay dues for, because that people that go to convention need to match up with actual members. If you don't have them as members, you'll be in another big of consequences, and so you'll be in there on February typing in new members and sending in another check for even more members. So make sure that all of that stuff happens. So take care of that.
Heads up on that though, again, it has to be at least 15. If you don't have 15 people, you're not a club. Okay, since I know many of us have less than 15 officers. Okay, and it also has to match your MRF. So if you're gonna only send in dues for 15 people, your MRF has to say there's only 15 people in our club in September. So I'm just, all of this is true, but if they're gonna be key clubbers, they gotta pay dues, yeah? So, follow through. He's absolutely right. It's more than just people getting on your case. It's people watching over for your safety. The Kiwanians and the teachers and all those guys, it's keeping them safe too. So do that part and it's all good, okay? Don't forget.
Okay, are there any questions about dues or anything? Now, Mr. Chang.
Did you guys mention the Children's Youth Day
Oh,
stuff? Oh. Okay, can I talk about it?
oh, you want to talk about it?
Okay. The Kiwanis Cubs are looking for assistance with the rides again this year. If anyone done it before? Okay, few of you. Yeah, so we'll be looking for assistance for rides. So we have 4 shifts this year, 9 to 11, 10 to 12, 11:30 to 2, and 1:30 to 3. And so that's an hour and a half shift, except for the first shift, because although we're having it report at 9, it's probably going to start at 9:30. Basically, you'll be facilitating riot control, taking tickets, making sure people don't sneak into the back entrance once they exit, buckling kids into like safety harnesses for seats or like the rock climbing. We're going to be trying to get adults to control the heavy machinery equipment where you're turning on the winches and the swings. And we'll have someone else doing the end of the line things. So it'll be a uniformed cadet that'll be at the end of the line. If anyone's done end of the line, it's pretty hairy. People get pretty upset towards the end of the day, and they take things out on you. They probably shouldn't. But if your club is interested, you need to let me know as soon as you can. The amount of volunteers, say like I think Roosevelt has 10. That Lillian signed up for 10. I didn't get a shift yet, but you have to let me know what shift and how many people are going to be there for that duration. So say like if you have 10 people at a total event, but you have 5 for the first shift, 5 for the second shift, just let me know, and I'll go and make sure I put your club and I'll put it on my schedule accordingly. And then after you do that, then I'll register your club through the CYD, the Children's Youth Day website. And that way, at least we'll have all the information for that and keep in contact with everybody. Anyone have any questions regarding the Children Youth Day?
You wanna give in your email address?
My email address, if you're... Oh, okay, all right. You can email me, which is probably preferred.
Okay, are there any other questions or concerns about dues, Children and Youth Day? Anything you want to talk about at the next DCM? Anything? We're all good? Question free?
Okay, thank you.
Children and Youth Day is a good one to sign up for.
Yeah.
On your MRFs, you get to check off a lot of things when you help with Children and Youth Day.
Okay, so announcements. So I'll go over the monthly submissions first, and then I'll talk about the DCM. So remember that your division council meeting report, so the report that you send in because you came to a DCM, has to be in within 3 days. So that gives you until Wednesday to get this in. So this is just asking for the number of people that you brought, your past events, your future events, and if you have any questions and concerns. So make sure that you get that in on time, and it's not bad to be early. Yes, Caitlin?
By the 3 days, do you mean like Wednesday midnight by, or do you mean like a specific time in the afternoon?
I'm not sure because I don't get them. They actually are sent to LTG, your RA, your faculty advisor, and your club president, but I think Wednesday midnight is fine, because to me that's still technically Wednesday. So, yeah, or 11:59 because 12 o'clock is like the next day. And then you have your MRS, which your secretary should be doing every month, and it should be in by October 3rd. I constantly say this, there is no reason why you should not have your MRF into Kian and Ma by the 1st of every month, because by then you've completed all of your projects. You can be filling out your MRF throughout the month, so it's easier to do, and you can just send it as soon as you finish your last project of the month. So make sure you get those in on time. They're very important because we have to put it together so we can send it to CNH, so CNH can report it to international. You see how it's a long chain? So it's very important that you get these in, because it's not us that know that you aren't turning it in. Key Club International knows that you're not turning it in. So keep that in mind. They're very important to do. And Div newsletter submissions. We have our editor, Jamie, that puts together the newsletters. We would like more submissions from all of you guys. You guys can talk about anything. You can talk about DCMs. You can talk about your events, meetings, anything you want. Just send it in. 5 sentences max and 3 pictures max. That's really not that hard to do every month. So just make sure you get those in by the 15th of every month. And then we have the district submissions, which are the ones that go to CNH. Every club in here signed a contract saying that they will submit at least 1 per quarter. This first quarter is coming towards an end, so please submit them soon. Any questions about those?
Sorry for asking so many questions.
No,
but,
it's good to ask questions.
Okay, for the newsletter, do we just send it like email body has the whole message and then the pictures and the attachments?
Yeah, you can do it any way you
do we
want.
have Microsoft Word?
You just put a little message and just put like, I attached my newsletter through Microsoft Word, or my article is down below, and you can just have it on your email. Because they can copy it and paste it, or whatever they need to do, whatever is easiest for you.
Okay.
Any other questions?
So it doesn't technically have to look like the newsletters that you guys send us. It's just like a paragraph and a couple.
Yeah, so it's like a little blurb about what you have. It's not like a full-on article. I think for the one for the CNH though, you might want to make that one a bit longer, just because it's being sent out to everyone, and that one everyone writes a little bit more. Any other questions? Okay, so now for my DCM. I got to it last because I was going to talk to you about it for like 5 minutes. So my next DCM, it's October 8th. It's a Saturday. It's gonna be at Alamoana Beach Park, and this is because I've been hearing from a lot of you guys that you guys like to meet new people, get to know other key clubbers. So it's gonna be an October DCM / a little picnic field day thing. So it'll be like a DCM and social. So I'm giving each advisor or president a packet of this. It has instructions for the president. Everything's written here clearly. You can call me if you have more questions. And I also have a little flyer so you can publicize it to your club, because it'd be really good to get some pretty good numbers out here. It's also a good way if you have like new members to kind of introduce them to Key Club and maybe spark interest in going to Hawaii Convention or having inter-club projects, things like that. So this is something I really want you guys to publicize. The date that I need to have all registrations by, I'll send out an Excel sheet for you to send out, but I need it by October 1st, and these need to be the exact numbers that are coming to this DCM, names and grades. So that's for the DCM. Any questions about that one? Okay, so this is officially adjourned at